Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Tales from the 20 Side. My name is Stu Jackson. I wanted to give you a little bit of background before we actually get into the adventure proper as to why we recorded this. So I'm an actor living in London, and I came across another podcast called the Danger Club podcast. Now this is based on the old, for those of you who will remember, Dungeons and Dragons from the 80s, 90s, and more recently, of course. So this was an actual play podcast. I'd played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons myself in my youth, but not a huge amount. I'd always enjoyed what I'd done, though. But I started listening to the Danger Club podcast. Supremely done and absolutely brilliantly executed. Really entertaining podcast. I can heartily recommend it. And it inspired me. It inspired me to start playing role-playing games, which I did. I got together with a few friends, one of whom you're going to be hearing from very, very soon, Dom Bray. And I became very passionate about it. And I wanted, inspired by the Danger Club, I wanted to then create my own version of that. So I got together, as I say, with Dom, who I was playing my social game with on a weekly basis. And I got together with a couple more actors. Neil Kelly, who, to be fair, hasn't really played before. I think he's played one game in the past, and that was sort of a very brief game. And Darren Mafucci, who I think I'm right in thinking hasn't played at all before. And yeah, we decided to create this podcast that you're about to listen to. So we're all very passionate about it. You're going to get passionate about it. So do enjoy. But before you do, I just wanted to give some very quick thanks to Dom, to Neil, and to Darren for all their hard work and their patience in putting up with my organisational skills, or lack thereof. To give a big shout out and thank you to Dan Thompson, who is the Dungeon Master in the Danger Club podcast, for all his inspiration and his help. And of course, a very big thank you to you, the listener, without whom there wouldn't be a podcast in the first place. So sit back, pour yourself a drink, and enjoy the very first episode of Tales from the 20 Side.
So, adventurers, are we all assembled?
Yes.
There we are. Welcome, listeners and others on the ether, to the very first episode of Tales from the 20 Side. It's a brand new Let's Play podcast for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And my name is Dom, and I will be your game master hosting this, whatever this turns out to be. So for those of you who are wondering, an RPG it stands for role-playing game. So as you might expect, it is a game where you play roles. These might be fantastical characters from stout dwarves and elegant elves, and there's even a fair few basic humans in there as well. Together we're going to go on some fantastic adventures, going to tell some stories, and hopefully get you a little bit excited for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is the rule set we are using. If you're curious as to what we're running, today it's our first session, so we're having a little one-shot just to get the characters going. But eventually, once we get into it, I'm going to be running these guys through a Pathfinder 1 adventure path called Reign of Winter. It's been a pet project of mine for some time. For those of you who are familiar with Pathfinder, I played a witch in my first Pathfinder campaign, and I stumbled across this adventure path when I was doing some research for that character. I've wanted to run it since, and now I have the chance. So now you have no choice. Let's go around the table and introduce our characters. So starting with...
Hi, Stu Jackson here. My character is going to be a half-elf champion. He's a liberator champion called Alwyn Templeton. And his deity is Caden Kalian. So he's a bit drunk most of the time, I'm afraid. He's a little bit sorry, but he will get through it. Yes, wonderful.
I think there's something quite special that Stu needs to tell you about his character as well.
Yeah, so I created this character by literally rolling everything on a dice. I didn't choose a single thing except his name. So my character has a very, very, very low intelligence of 7. Really, really bad. It's a result of the drinking, you see. Yes.
Sure.
Big awareness, kids.
Sure, it'll be great fun. Moving across the table, we have...
Hello, my name is Neil Kelly. I'll be playing a strong-blooded dwarf called Otto. He's a fey sorcerer, so he dabbles in a little bit of sorcery, a bit of shape-shifting, but he's not very good at either. He's also a follower of the deity Caden Kalian, so he revels in. He's certainly in love with the idea of drunken adventure, and as a background, he was still is a bounty hunter.
Okay.
Drinking buddy! Yay!
Okay. And introducing our final guest for this particular episode, very special guest. We've got him on loan from the Danger Club podcast, Mr. Dan Thompson.
Hello. Hello. This is fun. I never get to play Pathfinder 2nd edition. This is the first time I've ever played 2nd edition Pathfinder. I've GM'd it a huge amount, but I've never got a chance to play it. So when Stu said, come and play a game, I was like, yes, I can definitely do this. So I'm going to be playing Augusto Ramirez, who is a leaf leshy. He is a scoundrel rogue. And his background is that he was a bureaucrat in the Grand Council of Absalom. So he is a retired civil servant turned scoundrel, and he's also a hedge. So,
did he steal from a hedge fund?
Go Lost Omens character guide. He doesn't worship Caden Kalian though. He worships the Green Faith. We have something different. And I didn't roll. I chose everything. However, he's probably still going to be ending up worse built than Stu's characters. I went for fun things over good things.
Always.
Always. I mean, it's a game. The whole point of a game is to have fun at the end of the day.
Exactly.
What's the point if you're not having fun? There we go. Anyway, adventurers, are we all ready to begin?
Yes. I really hope so.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, so in the south of the continent of Avestan, on the world of Golarion, there lies a kingdom known as Taldor, once known as the cradle of civilization. Their technology, their forward-thinkingness, even their nobility have made them the envy across Golarion. Within Taldor, there sits a small village called Heldren, which is midway between the capital city of Apara and one of the frontier towns of Zimar. And it is here that we begin our story. In our story, 3 disparate travellers found their way to Heldren under their own pretences, for their own various reasons. And we start, as so many stories start, in the Dragon's Fangs Tavern.
Hey!
It's quite a busy day. It's the middle of summer, about July time for real-world reference. There's been a strange nip in the air for a couple of days. Whispers abound of pockets of winter in the western woods. But for now at least, these don't seem to have had much of an effect on the sleepy community of Heldren. Sitting at the bar, surrounded by quite a few bottles, we see a half-elf, clad in hide armour, wielding a rapier at his side. Across the bar from him, inexplicably, is a dwarf who certainly appears to be the innkeeper at this point, but he might be there for other reasons. And hiding in the corner is what the rest of the room perceives to be a pot plant. Adventurers, what would you like to do?
Buy a drink! And one for you,
No, thank you.
dwarven chappy. What's your name again?
Otto.
Also, I'm... Hang on, I'll come to me. Alwyn! Hello!
Alwyn what?
Yeah, another beer? Alwyn Templeton!
I just wanted to check they're not on my
Templeton.
list for anything.
Your list?
There isn't a price on your head. I'm always interested in if there's a price on someone's head.
Price of a beer, yay! Another
Oh,
beer.
it's another beer, right.
You have the price of a beer on your head.
I don't know.
It's very cheap. There is a bounty, but it's not really worth anything.
Do you know what, there's something in this beer, this strange pugland just spoke to me.
Yes, the small bush wanders over. He's wearing a hat. He's wearing a very broad-brimmed hat with a feather in it. And has sort of a leafy goatee beard emerging.
I like what I see.
And a rapier at its side.
I'm not sure I like what I see.
Hello. You are a bounty hunter.
Yes, that's right.
Tell me, what is your quarry?
Well, I've just brought in a low life that's what brings me to this town, but I'll be moving on soon. Well, as soon as I finish drinking, I suppose. Well,
Yeah, drinks!
which might be a while. So I have no particular quarry. That's why I'm just sort of checking who's who and what's it. Is there any low-hanging fruit? Anything easy to pluck?
See.
I always go for easy. Give her the choice.
It was planned. Can I make a society check to know anything about the village we're in, or is it a village or a town? Or?
It's a small village.
Small village, okay.
Mostly a farming community.
Okay.
There's maybe 100 people living here. It's not that big, but you can by all means roll a society check.
Have a natural one.
First roll of the game! Yeah!
Yeah, you know that when summer blows through, the air is very sweet. And that's it.
That is generous.
Well, I'm thinking, is it cold in here or is it raining? I'm thinking it's a little bit cold for July. Could there perhaps be some magic in the air? Can I check that there's some? Because I have the gift of detecting magic.
Yeah, you
Detecting.
So you cast detect magic on this sense that there might be something in the air.
Yes.
You wave it around a little bit, and you detect no magic in your immediate vicinity.
Oh, so it is just cold.
As you're having this conversation, the door to the cellar slams open, and you see walking through a halfling man. Standard size for a halfling. Got quite bushy red hair, and a little chin stripe. Chin stripe beard.
They're very fashionable these days.
And he walks in, he comes up behind the bar and he says, "Oi, you! You're not supposed to be this side of the bar. Get out!"
You're not the barman?
Not again. Oh, what's the matter?
Do I have to go and get Balin again?
Now, all the things I can think of to do would seem rather an overreaction. I mean, giving him goblin pox or a
I know what you should do! Have a drink! Yeah!
Well, that's music to my ears. Are you buying, sir?
Yeah! Drink for me and drink for him and one drink out for my friend here.
I require no sustenance.
Yeah! More for me! Yay!
So the barman, who you've been here for a little while. You know the barman's name is Sogs, S-O-G-G-S. And he serves you your ales. He takes your money from you. That costs you like a silver piece for both of those drinks.
Okay. Raise a glass! I always raise a glass to two things I always drink to. I always drink to Kalian. And he'll raise a glass and...
No, raise a glass of Kelly.
Yeah, Kate and Kaylee. And the other thing I always drink too, excess! Another drink!
As you're going back to bar for yet another drink, the door opens behind you. Standing in the doorway, you see what appears to be a dwarven man in the colours of what you recognise to be the town watch. I say appears to be dwarven because you look at his face and his head, and they are both completely bald. Otto, you recognise this as Balon the Beardless, captain of the town watch, and the man who you delivered your outlaw to not too long ago.
Right. Well, why don't you join us for a drink, Balon the Beardless?
Yeah, drink!
We'll celebrate. I've got some bounty to share. Let's get another round in songs.
Balon the Beardless.
Balon the Beardless. Yes. He pays good and he pays on time.
Was he named the Beardless before he had no beard?
Are you asking him this?
I turned to him. Why are you called the Beardless?
Because I have no beard, of course. Yes, it is. It's a funny story, actually. Back in my adventuring youth, I had a bit of an accident with some explosive runes, and then I decided I liked the look, so I kept it.
But your name is always Balon, so.
My name was always Balon, yes.
So
the Beardless came after.
So if it hadn't been for that mishap, you would just be Balon the Bearded, or just Balon.
I would probably just be Balon, or I would have found some other nickname for myself.
Balon the Bastard, or
Narrows his eyes at you. He seems to take it.
Balon the Benevolent, Balon the Boozer.
He seems to take it in a manner of jest that you may have intended it. I'm not sure.
No, I'm
not so sure.
Wordplay. How fortunate is it your name begins with a B and that's it, you end up with that particular affection.
Right, enough of these jests. He says. I'm glad I've caught you, Otto. If you're interested, I have some work before you leave town.
I'm always interested.
Yes, you see the old tower down by the river, the Starsong Tower. It's been glowing unnaturally for a few days. There was a company amongst the guard who decided they were going to go in and check it out before we'd really had an idea as to what was going on there. And this was a day and a half ago, and we've not heard from them. I'm organising my own expedition to go into the tower and find out what's happened.
So they went to check out Starsong Tower and then never came back.
Yes, the hot-headed fools. I told them to wait until we knew more about what was happening. But no, they were too impetuous, and they ran on in, and we've not heard from them since.
So how many of them were there in this detachment?
It was a company of 6 or 7.
Interesting.
This sounds really dangerous.
It seems very dangerous.
6 or 7 of them, and there's... Hang on.
One of me, I'm the bounty hunter.
See, we're just drinking buddies.
Well, you're not drinking.
No, this is true.
I'm a drinking buddy. Yeah.
Otto, if you would be so good as to join me on this, I've secured from the town council a coffer of 3 gold pieces per person, and this offer goes out to all who hear it. I, Balon the Beardless, seek party members to venture with me into the Starsong Tower and find out what has happened to our guard.
So initially the guard went to find out what it was that was causing the tower to glow. And now the bounty is just to find out what happened to the guard. So there's not an extra bounty to find out why it was glowing in the first place.
That is included in that price. 3 gold. 3 gold per person. You see down the end of the bar, there's this really crotchety looking old guy who's kind of very deep in his cups. And at the mention of 3 gold, he turns around and goes, "Oh, I can do that."
Whoa. Augusto has a little look in his purse at the handful of copper pieces that are left in it.
It sounds dangerous, but I do need money.
6 or 7 men have already disappeared investigating this mystery, thereby creating a second mystery.
I am no man. I am a bush. I will take this quest.
Yeah, there might be herbs. They might need help. And yeah, for the glory of Kalian.
They might need help, and 3 gold pieces per person, you said.
Yes, 3 gold pieces per person.
That's one each.
He's not very. Yes, it's one each. It's one each. It's one each. Yeah. You will get your gold piece.
Yeah.
And what of you, drunken man at the end of the bar? Will you join us on our quest?
Yes!
What is your name?
He goes to stand up, he just falls off his chair, face down on the dirt, and you hear snoring come from the other end of the bar.
I was going to send him in first.
Do we still get his share if he comes with us but doesn't come back?
I don't, you can make a diplomacy check.
It's good. It's a 22.
Sure, why not? You could just got a weekend at Bernie's him. Just carry him around.
You want me to big amount and carry him?
Yeah, why not? Maybe he has hidden skills. You never know what people are good at.
When they wake up.
This guy's snoring, and there's an ominous stain appearing on his breeches.
Is he enchanted in some way?
Detect magic on the stage.
I detect magic.
You cast your spell, and you do get a little tingle, and you realise, no, that's just the liquid running onto your leg. It is.
Right.
This potion smells like weed.
Very good. We will take your quest.
Very well. So I'm going in. I will meet you at the Starsong Tower first thing tomorrow morning. In the meantime, if you wish to equip yourselves, by all means do so. The town is open to you, as you well know.
Maybe I should equip myself a bit more.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's getting towards evening time. You were probably planning to bed down here for the evening before this occurred. So right now it's about 5 o'clock.
How much are rooms in the tavern? You, child, behind the bar. How much are the rooms in here?
I'm not a child.
I'm sorry. I have trouble with ages with mortal creatures.
You tall folk are all the same.
I'm the same height as you. I'm a small creature.
Well, rooms. As you're helping out the guard, I guess they can go on the house for one night.
Very well. I will sleep on your house. For one night.
Sleep on it.
I will sleep in it.
You're shown to a room. It's not a massive tavern. They have a couple of rooms which are already in use by the people, but Sogs does show you a nice warm place by the hearth where you can all lay your bedrolls down.
Excellent.
Free of charge.
I would want to do a bit of mind sweeping before we go.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
You were just thinking, is there a role for that?
I was thinking there could be a role for that. How much are you mind sweeping?
Oh, not anybody. Not nicking anybody's drinks. Just if it's on the table.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw. Fortitude saving throw. That's the wrong rule set.
A foot.
Yeah.
25.
Okay. You do. Whilst you're minesweeping, you do come across one particularly full pint. And as you go to minesweep it, you take a sniff, and you realise why it's full. It smells very, very off. And you feel, if you drink this, it might go badly for you.
No, leave that one.
Okay, so you're all bedding down for the evening? Okay.
Yes.
You bed down for the night. You go to sleep. Morning comes with no consequence, as is to be expected in a town, in an inn, in the middle of a sleepy little village. So morning comes, you all rouse. Sogs has put on a little bit of food for everybody who's staying in the tavern. It's by no means a grand breakfast. It's borderline hardtack. It's not that great, but you're welcome to partake of that if you wish. And so the day is yours. What would you like to do?
We should have gone to the tower last night, you know.
See,
we could have appreciated it better at night.
The glow, it's not so good in the daytime.
It really is.
You can barely see it.
No. I had a skinful last night. No.
Well, that's why we didn't go.
That's,
Well,
no.
It would have been better if we'd have stayed sober and gone.
Don't go sober.
Yeah.
Well, do we need any equipment or anything to prepare? What has happened to our drunken friend? Not you, the other drunken friend. We have more drunken friends than I was expecting to have in this party.
You mean the expendable ones?
Yes.
Oh, piss pants. Yes, what's happened to piss pants?
He is exactly where you left him, wherever that may be.
Oh, right.
He is there exactly where we left him.
He is dead.
I would go over
Give me a medicine check.
It's only a 10.
Okay. You listen for a second and you panic because you can't hear any breathing. And then you realise, no, it's okay, it's just very shallow. He is still alive.
He's alive.
And also that you don't care.
No.
I'll go over and do a medicine check to see if he's actually okay.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
18.
Yeah, he's just passed the hell out. He's sleeping off. You gather that a gentleman of this advanced age, with the amount to drink that he's had, he's going to be asleep for a little while yet. But he other than that, he seems okay.
But we're still
Actually,
getting his
there
share, right?
There is a little trickle of blood coming from his nose from where he face planted the floor last night.
Oh.
That's it.
The child behind the bar did not clear him up. This is a tough bar. What about you? Do any of us need anything from the town before we attempt our mission?
I got my beer. I'm good.
I require nothing.
I feel like I should buy some weapons because...
You have no weapons?
I have some weapons. I've got my slingshot and my daggers. My clan dagger and the one that came with the set that I bought in the adventure set. But maybe something more. And of course my charisma and charm. And, we don't know what we're walking into, really. We should go and have a look and if I need to buy anything, come back for it.
Out of character, just for a moment, do you have much gold?
Yes, I do have 9 gold pieces.
What? Oh, mate. Hand crossbow at least.
That sounds like a good weapon, yeah. Hand crossbow.
Yeah.
I'll buy a hand crossbow. How much do they?
Please hold corner.
I am glad that we are playing goodly characters because mechanically there is more money in it from robbing Otto than there is from completing this.
And he's the one who's being a shit. Yes, I know you. You're a bastard.
Hand crossbow. That'll set you back 3 gold pieces.
Oh, I'll have one of those.
The bolts, it's a silver for 10 bolts.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 1 silver for 10 bolts.
Yes.
I'll get 20 bolts.
That's good thinking.
You head over to Gold Smiles Goods and Sundry, which is the local hardware store in town. And Jace Goldsmile is another halfling, runs this store. And she happily sells you this hand crossbow. She is a bit curious, and she says, "Oh, that's a fine crossbow there. Are you going hunting something?"
It's a gift from my mother.
A gift for your mother?
Yes, it's her birthday.
Well, you should have said so from the start. Would you like me to gift wrap it for you?
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. I have a special package in mind.
Oh, okay. If you're Well,
Well, all right. Yes, gift wrap. Yeah.
that'll be 2 copper pieces, please.
No, leave the gift wrap. That's
Okay.
But he's got all the bows. It looks so pretty.
You're gonna bow on the bow. Okay.
You do see.
I haven't got change.
I've only got a £20 note.
It's been like a mob movie, just pulling the crossbow out of a gift bag.
Actually, so did you say 2 copper pieces?
Yes.
Yes, I'll do that.
So she says, just for one moment, please. And who shall I make the inscription out to?
Just to Mum.
To Mum. Okay, I can do that. And you wait for about 5 minutes, and she comes back, and there's this. It's still distinctly crossbow shaped, but somehow she's managed to wrap every inch of it in like a decorative cloth paper. And there's a lovely bow on the top where you put the bolt in, and you can see she's attached a little tag to the string that says "To Mum," and she hands it over to you.
Oh, that's
That is sweet.
that'll melt her heart.
Well, I'm glad to have.
Hilarious.
I'm glad to have made your day. I hope her birthday goes well.
Thank you very much.
Her all the best.
I will do.
Thank you for your help, young girl.
Thank you.
Give your regards to your parents for us.
She sort of looks at you and goes, "I need to stop drinking." Okay, so you've exited Gold Smiles Goods and Sundry with your lovely gift-wrapped hand crossbow. So, what would you like to do? Are you heading to the tower? Are you going somewhere else?
I was to kind of unfurl some of his leaves as we walk to soak up the sunlight as you walk over. Because he doesn't need to eat. They don't need to eat. They can photosynthesize as a leshy.
Nice. That's fine. So you make your way over to the Starsong Tower, which, as previously noted, it's by the river, maybe between. It's about 3/4 of a mile away. It's not very far. And despite what you'd said previously about seeing it better in the night time, you find that as you crest over a rise, you can actually see. You can see quite clearly this shaft of violet light piercing upwards from the direction of the tower.
That is quite unusual. He's right. I mean, I don't know what a usual amount of light for this particular tower is. It's
I think this is more than the usual. Maybe this will be a good time to detect magic. Maybe now I'm within closer range. So,
Okay. So how close are you waiting before you cast your detect magic? Because it has a range on it. I think it's only within 60 feet.
okay, let's get up to 60 feet. That's
Okay.
Going to go with it. I'm going to knock an arrow and ready the longbow.
Sure. So you. It's 30 feet. You have to be quite close. So as you get close, there's kind of a small outer wall with a gate that is about 30 feet away from the walls of the tower itself. And you can see, sort of standing, leaning against the gate, you can see Balon the Beardless. They're seemingly waiting for you. The tower itself, it looks quite old. If you spent any time in Heldred previously, you will know that the tower has stood there for decades, if not centuries. But it's been abandoned and dormant for almost that entire time. There's nobody in living memory who recalls anybody ever living there, or what it was ever built for. You can see that the ravages of time have started to take their toll. So it's a 3-story tower, and you can see that on the very top floor, part of the roof has begun to cave in. Sort of exposing the top floor to the elements. As you approach the tower, Balon turns and sees you and says, "Ah, at last! I was starting to worry you weren't coming."
We had to buy a crossbow.
Ah, yes,
And get it gift wrapped.
that's what took the time.
It was very important. She was very thorough with the gift wrapping.
You went to see Jace Goldsmile, did you?
Yes.
Yes, she's a treasure. She's
Yes. Lovely girl. Is she for hire at all?
You have more things you need gift wrapping?
Sorry, is she for hire?
Yes.
I don't think it's that kind of shop.
More of unwrapping.
I don't.
You see Balin's cheeks flush a little bit, and he says, "I'm certain I don't know what you're talking about, but you're welcome to ask her about any services you may require, in the gift wrapping nature, of course."
I will do. I'll turn on the charm, and not the goblin.
What do you want to go back?
You've got charm? Wow.
Well, in limited amounts, but also goblin box.
Don't get us too confused. No.
Balin is giving you all a curious look, and he just listens for a second, and he goes, "Right. Well, either way, are you set? Are you ready to enter with me?"
Yes.
See.
Yes.
Okay, so from what we know about the tower, there's a couple of different ways in. We have the front door, obviously. If we go down to the river, there is a small tunnel there that leads, we believe, into the basement. And looking at the state of the roof, you could also climb up the top if you were feeling skillful. Which do you think is the best way in?
The top they will not be expecting. If indeed there is a day inside.
So which way did the guard detachment go in? Do you know?
I believe they went through the front door. A foolhardy bunch of louts they are. And you can see the front door is actually ajar of the tower. It's a big set of double open doors, and they're open. You can't quite see what's inside, although there does appear to be a faint violet glow coming from that room.
I'm not very good at climbing, but I've got this grappling hook if anyone wants to borrow it. But I'm going by the river way. Go on.
We could all go in from a separate way and make this even easier to run.
That's the phrase gets all killed. Yes.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
I would vote for either except going in through the glowing violet door where everybody died. That seems like a proven bad idea.
Yes, death door, not a good idea.
The river sounds good to me.
Oh, now that we're close, maybe I can detect magic. I can use my detect magic.
Sure, so you sort of hover by the gate for a second and you cast Detect Magic, and you are now getting a very strong magical presence in the direction of the tower.
So this magical light then, is it magical?
Yes.
Right.
I can confirm. Perhaps we should go around the other way.
Yes.
Tell me, a hairless man. Do you have any additional things that you may be able to offer us to help us in this quest? Are you coming with us?
Yes, of course I am. I've got to. I mean, for one, I've got to protect my investment, and for two, I can't pass up the opportunity for a good adventure. I miss it too much. It's too stuffy being a captain these days. It's all paperwork. But yes, to answer your question, I did manage to procure these from the town supplies, and he pulls out a small leather pouch that has 3 potion vials in it.
Excellent.
He hands one to each of you, and if you'd like to all add 1 lesser potion of healing to your inventories.
Very nice. Lots of those now.
That's very kind of you, but I really don't think we should be drinking until after we finish.
Oh, now he says this.
Where did you find this one?
The bar!
Wait, we left the piss pants man behind.
Oh, poor piss pants.
I mean, if you're serious about bringing him, I think I will just give you the extra gold piece each for you to not have the burden of carrying around. Plus, thinking about it overnight, I'd rather not have one of my people needlessly killed.
You drive a hard bargain, but we accept this free money for not getting a person we don't know killed.
This is kind of the weirdest negotiation tactic ever.
You already caved on that one.
So are you paying us right now, or is this a promise?
No, it's a promise. I mean,
All right.
I'll pay you all on completion, as you know I will also. You know I'm good for it.
But if something were to happen to you, God forbid.
Well, I've told the rest of the council of what we're doing.
All right.
Should something happen to me, you can approach them and claim your reward.
Well, let's go around.
Let's go to, no, let's go to the river.
Let's go to the river.
You going to the river?
Yep,
To
we'll go
the
to the river.
river.
Okay.
I think I should go in first.
I agree.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
Well, not right. When I say right behind, I mean.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, do we? I mean, is it narrow enough that we need to work out an order?
Possibly in a second. You sort of walk around the tower towards the river, and it's quite a sheer drop. But you manage to manoeuvre your way down slowly. It takes you 10 minutes or so to find your way safely down the riverbank. And you do see quite clearly, once you look in the direction of the tower, you see this tunnel. It appears to be like a runoff of some kind. Can I take perception checks from all of you, please?
You may.
Which one do I need to throw?
D20.
D20.
Then
That's 12 plus.
add your proficiency bonus, perception bonus.
Which is
11 for me.
No, that's your punt. There we go.
16.
16.
And 18.
18. Okay. So Augusto and Otto, you notice that this tunnel itself is it's fairly wide. It's quite narrow, but it's also quite tall. Both of you notice in the water coming out from the tower, there seems to be this strange black ichor.
This is unusual. And see if we have.
But we don't have to wade through this to get into the tunnel.
No, you look at it, and whilst the tunnel itself is about 5 feet wide, there's enough space either side that you could slide along the wall if you were careful.
Okay. Augusto draws his rapier and just dips it in the ichor and just lifts some of it up to give it a little sniff and see what would it be to try and work out what it is. Nature check.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
Natural 20. Yay! For a total of 24.
So you look at this. You dip a bit on the end of your rapier, and through your innate connection to nature as a leaf fleshy, you know that this is not natural. And looking at it, as you pull it out, it's a little bit stringy, a bit like tar. It seems to throb with a slight energy, and you gather that it probably wouldn't do you much good if you drank it.
This throbbing goo is unnatural.
We won't drink it.
I'm guessing you're pointing it out.
Yes,
Aren't we? Wow. Yeah, do your wheelie finger thing detect your magic-y thing?
Well, we already did that. We already.
No, that's on the tower, not on the goo.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll detect magic on the. I'll do magic detection on the goo then.
Okay, you cast Detect Magic, and you discover that the goo is not magical. At least not in itself. You get the impression that it might have come from a magical source, like a waste product of some kind.
Right, but it's not itself. Magic.
It's not magical in itself.
Okay. We should avoid stepping in it if we can. Yes, it could be dangerous.
Okay, so you're starting to make your way up the tunnel?
Indeed.
Okay.
But make sure you work your sword off properly.
See.
What's your marching order here, folks?
I went up the front.
I went in front.
All right. I'll go behind Alvin.
Okay.
I'll keep up. I'll follow up the rear.
Okay. So Alwyn at the front, Augusto behind, and Otto at the back.
And then Beardless as the rear guard, I
Yeah,
guess.
this is the rear guard.
Okay. That's fine. So, as you're coming up this tunnel, taking care not to step in the water now you know that it's not very nice stuff. And you get about 25 feet down this tunnel. It's quite a long tunnel. At this point, from where you started at the bank, you were maybe 100 feet away from the tower itself. It's quite a long tunnel. You get about 25 feet down the tunnel. Can I have a perception check, please?
Sure. Again. 19.
Okay. As you progress down this tunnel, you start to hear sounds very, very close. You hear.
Shh! Stop! Listen. You hear that?
What do you hear with your elven ear?
It went.
Well, like a sort of a laugh or like a hee.
Sort of like a laugh combined with a squeaky door.
A squeaky door is laughing at us.
Yes.
Dios.
Not again.
So any way of determining what it might. I mean, is it? I mean, I'm guessing it is a laugh. Sort of sound.
No, that's just the DM being bad impression. It sounds more animalistic.
Okay.
I think I'll unwrap the crossbow at this point.
What did you do?
Oh wow! What did you win?
Oh look, it's a crossbow.
That's what you've always wanted.
I'll leave the tag on the tree.
You might want to return it.
It's like squeaking like I suppose rats or something. I don't know.
Something that is like a rat.
Like a rat, but might be a rat. I don't know.
As you're having this thought, there's a brumph behind you and a brumph in front of you. I would like you all to roll initiative.
I'd like to what, sorry?
Roll for initiative. So roll a d20 and add your perception bonus.
Oh, I rolled really badly.
Can I use my harmlessly cute ability to appear entirely unthreatening initially, and so roll deception instead of perception? It sort of depends on whether they are something that have an appreciation of cute.
Not in this case.
No problem.
So.
Alright. It's alright.
19.
20.
Wow. 7.
Oh,
Alwyn at 7.
wow. Oh,
19 for Otto.
Yeah.
And 20 for Augusto.
20 for Augusto.
Roll for Balin.
Yeah, just so you know, Neil, rolling for initiative as a standard thing, as normal, you would roll your d20 and add your perception score.
Right.
But if you happen to be doing something different, like if at that moment you're happening to move very stealthily, for example, you can use your stealth score. Basically, you can use anything you happen to be doing if you can argue a good enough case with Dom.
Right. Okay.
You can use a different score.
So, such as Augusto's ability, Harmlessly Cute, would have allowed him to use deception instead of perception, which, as a rogue, also gives you a bonus against the first thing you hit.
It does. That's why I'm
Trying to use it.
trying to use it. Get +1 as well.
That's great. I actually don't have. I'm right, so I've got a shit perception score, which is 4. I don't have anything that's higher than that.
That's amazing.
Oh, Paladin.
Anyway, as these shapes drop down in the gloom in front of you, when you see this first, you see this fairly large shape. It's got sort of dirty grey fur, long tail, quite sharp-looking teeth at the front. The thing that catches your eye the most is that where the eyes should be, there is just a faint glowing violet light. And that is where we're going to end for this session.
Oh, hey.
So rat fight.
Glowy eyes. Weird face.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feegle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com. Editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.